My name is Kedrick Teague, and this is vlog number 4 for IAH 207. So first, what I wanted to talk about was Angels in America. So with Angels in America, the movie really depicted the image of how AIDS wasn't very discriminative. It affected communities as a whole, and it also showed how it affected different levels of communities. Like a very successful man like Roy, who had money, status, and the best connections in the world, could still be affected by AIDS regardless of what resources he had. Another one was Harper and Joe. With Harper and Joe is a closet homosexual married to Harper, who is a female. And with them, the story shows how a man conflicted with himself is struggling to be his real self. He's very distant from his wife. He doesn't tell her really what's going on after work. He comes home very late. And another one was Pryor and Lou. With Pryor and Lou, it shows how on one side of a couple, it can be affected by AIDS, showing how harsh it is, the toll that it takes on the body. And on the other side of that is with Lou, it shows how it takes a toll on the significant other, experiencing the pain of watching their significant other go through something so horrendous. Another thing that I saw in the movie was the similarity between Harper and Joe and Pryor and Lou. On one side, Joe is very distant. Although he loves his wife very much, he's a very conflicted man. I felt like that was the same with Pryor and Lou. Once Pryor became very ill, Lou became very distant. He didn't know really how to react. He felt bad for the way he felt, and he wasn't telling Pryor exactly how he was feeling throughout the film. Moving on to gentrification of literature. One thing I felt was very prominent was the life of these street artists, and not even just street artists, just artists all around in these communities. Before these communities were renovated and changed, these artists were very free to express their art. Their art was their way of living. They sold their art. They shared their art. They spoke about their art. And then once these communities started being renovated, a lot of these artists were affected by AIDS, and a lot of them died. And while these artists were also dying, their audiences were also dying. So that it was very hard for their influence to be portrayed as their influence, rather than these yuppie new arrivals coming into these already made communities. They weren't showcase. These communities didn't showcase the influence of every individual that was part of these communities. Another thing was, once these communities were renovated, a new thing was enforced of MFA. These MFA programs started to be brought out. MFA programs were the Masters of Fine Arts. It restricted these already established artists. Before, it didn't matter where you were from, how you came about, if you went to school, or how much you made. It was just about artists sharing, expressing, and just showing their art.